Hello humans, it's just Martine and it's time for another weekend reading vlog. First, I'm going to tell you about my reading this past week, and then I'll jump into what we're going to be reading this weekend. The short of it is that I finished 3 books this week, 1 which I've already told you about before, and 2 which I didn't mention in the slightest. The one that I finished that I had mentioned was Devastation Road by Joanna Baker, and I ended up giving this a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Essentially, if you didn't see my last reading vlog, it just didn't hold my interest. It wasn't as fast as I wanted it to be. Murder mysteries should have higher stakes, in my opinion, but I felt too chill the whole time. The second book that I finished was an e-arc from NetGalley, a poetry collection called Sorry I Haven't Texted You Back by Alicia Cook, and I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was good. I had a good time reading it. The first half are just poems about like depression and grief and heartbreak and all those wonderful things that poetry collections love to delve into, and then the second half was all those same poems but done with blackout poetry to make totally new poems, and it was super cool. And then finally I read Patina from Jason Reynolds, which is book number 2 in the track series, which is a middle grade series about a track team. I ended up giving Patina 4.5 out of 5 stars. This series has everything you're going to want young readers nowadays to encounter in their reading. It's got diverse characters, whether it's based on their ethnicity, their race, their family situation, why they do the sport that they do, how they interact with school and the different people at school, how they make friends, all of that. Each character is very distinct in their own way. So their story is going to include those parts of themselves. There are 4 books in the series, 1 for each of the 4 newbies on the track team, the Defenders, in this season that it's covering. The first is Ghost, the second Patina, the third Sunny, and then the 4th Lou. So we've met all these characters, but we get their individual stories. Like Patty in Ghost's story didn't play a huge role, but then we got this very open view about her life and everything in it in the book Patina, and I really like that approach of getting to see different characters, and like they remain consistent when you see the character from the outside, but getting to see them inside is still different from that, and it explains a lot about them. And I love that for a middle grade series, at least I'm pretty sure it's a middle grade series because it takes place in middle school, because I think it's just so good to understand that like people can be friends and learn to get along, but that they can be very different, and that we don't always understand what's going on in the minds of other people. That being said, it's time to talk about the things that I plan on reading this weekend. I have 5 main books that I'm jumping in between right now. 2 of them I'm not reading all at once because they're either for a book club or a class or something, so that's why they're going to be in several vlogs. Like one of these you saw more about last week, and then one like I mentioned last week. Again, if you didn't see that reading vlog, it's in the cards. So the first is Brave New World. I don't have much to say about this. All my thoughts are in the last vlog so far. I just have to read my 2 sections for class and see what happens. The second is Beloved by Toni Morrison, which I mentioned wanting to read last time, but I only read the foreword, I'm pretty sure. So now I'm like 23 pages into it. I have to get to page 100 by the end of the weekend, and I'm excited to share my thoughts with you. So far, I have to pay attention quite closely, but it's worth that type of attention. Again, I'm only 23 pages in, but those are my thoughts so far. The third is Voyager by Diana Gabaldon, the 3rd book in the Outlander series. I literally shrieked reading this the other day. I was losing my mind, so let's keep up that energy and see how much of this I can get read this weekend. And then 2 books which I can't show you because they're on my phone that I'm filming on. One is Lazarus. I forgot the author's name, but it's Lazarus, and it's another e-arc from NetGalley, so thank you NetGalley. It's basically a murder mystery vibe with like a sentient ghost involved, like a ghost as one of the main characters, and I'm loving it. It's literally everything I wanted that I never knew I wanted and didn't know it was going into it. Absolutely loving it so far. And then the second is Athena's Choice. Again, I don't remember the author's name, but I'm listening to that in audiobook format, and so far I'm enjoying it. It's about a world where there are no men. Men have died out. Interestingly enough, there's something called the Lazarus genome in Athena's Choice, so it's weird to hear about that and then go and read Lazarus. Lazarus is named Lazarus because it takes place in a town called Lazarus. But anyway, all that to say, those are the main books that I'm focusing on this weekend, and we'll see what kind of mischief we can get up to, how much I can read with all the homework I have to do. Let's do this thing. Oh, it's Friday, by the way. It's Friday, and I have lunch with a friend, and then a meeting, and then class, and all of that will go until 4 p.m. So I will get no reading done so far to kick off this reading vlog. But woo, let's go, weekend reading vlog. It's 8:35 and I just spent like the last hour and 20 minutes reading Beloved by Toni Morrison. I'm now on page 100. At the start of today I was on page like 23. This is taking a really long time to read, like per page, in comparison to some of the other things I read. First of all, because I'm reading it for a book club, so I want to make sure that I'm like getting everything, and then second, because it's just one of those books that you really have to pay attention to like know what's going on, and sometimes even still you're like, what? So far I think I'm enjoying it. It's hard to tell. I know that seems like a weird thing to say, because like I'm either enjoying it or I'm not, or I'm in the middle, but I can't tell. I think since I wanted to give up at like page 33 for the night, and I ended up reading all the way to 100 and kept being like, okay, I'll just read one more chapter and one more chapter, that I'm liking it. I'm pretty sure that's a sign that I'm liking it. Anyway, if you don't know, Beloved is a book about an ex-slave woman and her daughter and their life. Basically, this is all I'm going to read of Beloved this weekend, because this is where I need to be for Monday in the book club. You won't hear about this again this weekend, but so far so good. Let's see if I read anything else tonight. It's 9:09. I got ready for bed. I read 10% of Lazarus, so I'm 50% of the way through, still really enjoying it, and now I'm settling in to read some Voyager before I fall asleep. Good night. It's 1:12 p.m. and I've been doing homework all day. If you're curious about my homework routines, how much homework I have on this now the second week of college, my junior year, I'll link a video right there that I did of all my homework for a week. I will be continuing that theme and filming for that separately, but first I want to update you and say that I'm starting this week's portions of Brave New World. So yes, that's homework, but it's also reading, so it goes in both videos. It's 7:41 p.m. and I just filmed, edited, and uploaded Wednesday's video. So I'll link it here if you want to see it. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's stormy outside, so it's the perfect weather to read, and I still have like a fourth of my step goal to go. So I'm gonna fill up my water and listen to an audiobook while pacing around, because I love to do that, to listen to audiobooks. I'm going to be listening to Athena's Choice, because although I listened to it last night while falling asleep, I have not talked to you guys about it. So this is the perfect opportunity to listen to some of it and update you. I'm 30% of the way through Athena's Choice. I have no idea what's going on. Things are only getting weirder, which could be a really good thing, or it could be a really bad thing, but I don't know yet. I am intrigued, I'm invested, I'm interested, so that's a good sign. All right, I think I'm going to read some Voyager now. I'm 20% of the way through Voyager, and I'm very upset, and I know I shouldn't be. I know I can't explain it because it's the third book of a series, but I am very upset. Good morning. It's almost 11 o'clock and I'm about to head out and grab some lunch before I have a call with my family. Very exciting things, very exciting things. I got a really slow start to the morning, as in I pretty much only just got up, got ready, watched one YouTube video, now I'm headed out the door for lunch. It happens. That's what Sundays are for. That's why I don't do any homework on Sundays, but I have big plans for today, big YouTube watching plans, because I'm a little bit behind on watching stuff, big reading plans, lots of updates for this vlog coming, so here we go. Happy Sunday, everyone.
Literally, the cicadas out here are so loud you can hear them in my class that's in there every time.
Okay, it's almost 3 o'clock and I straight up haven't read a single thing today, so I need a plan. I finally feel like reading, so we're gonna come up with a plan. So these are my 3 main reads that I'm working on right now. So I think, okay, I'm at 60% of Lazarus. I don't know if I should do this to myself, but I'd really love to finish Lazarus today so that I can get that review turned into NetGalley. I'd also love to reach 50% of Athena's Choice, because that would be great. And then I know I won't get all the way to 30% of Voyager, because each percentage takes so long with the book that big, but I'd love to get to 25%. And then I also need to do my Bible reading for the day, and that should about square it away, because tomorrow I start my first weekly reading vlog for Becca's Bookathon. I mean, I'll still have one day until September officially starts, but we're just gonna get the ball rolling, and so I'd love to be on top of that. So if we could just please get to reading. I'm 77% of the way through Lazarus. I'm having so many feelings. One second I'll be like, I really wish I could cry right now, and the next I'll laugh at something that's casually said. I'm feeling so many things, but there are so many loose ends and I have no idea how the author could possibly wrap all of it up. So I guess we're gonna see. I'm literally losing my mind. Oh my goodness. Okay, I finished Lazarus, and although I did not cry, you know that feeling where you desperately wish you could cry? I have that feeling, and I had it for like multiple sections of the book. But also, it was one of those cases where you were ricocheting from second to second between wanting to laugh and wanting to cry. Like literally every second it was different. I gave it 5 stars. It might not be everybody's cup of tea. And I had just one issue. I had a singular issue, and I considered giving it only like 4.75 stars, and I was like, just give it a 5 stars. What's wrong with you? My one issue was that some things, like the author tied up all the loose ends, but some of them were just kind of convenient answers to them. That being said, she did tie up all the loose ends, and believe it or not, a lot of people don't do that sometimes. I would literally read any story about these characters that this author wanted to write next. I would literally read any book that takes place in this town of Lazarus by this author, Marianne Mellowin Woods. Incredible. This book wrecked me. This book, it captured the feeling of like wanting someone in your life that you can't have there anymore, especially through death. It focused on in this one, but it's literally applicable to any time that you want a person in your life and they can't be there. I hurt from this book, but I also laughed. It was not just dialogue that was funny. In fact, it was rarely dialogue that was funny. It was always an inner monologue of one of the two main characters, either Margot or Hank, that was absolutely hysterical to me, especially Hank. Yes, I want Hank and Margot's love story as its own separate book. I'd read the heck out of that. So, if you want like a YA mystery with great characters and a little bit of a supernatural element, a story about love, a story about loss, I recommend so hard. Again, Lazarus by Marianne Mellowin Woods. I love it. I really want a copy for myself now. This is an arc, and now I want this book. Okay, that's all. For anybody who wants to know, it's $15 from Amazon. It's coming out on September 8th. I'm not going to buy it right now. Impulse control. But September 8th. Yes. Updated reading board. Woo! Alright, it's 7:18. I just got home from dinner and took a quick shower, and henceforth, the plans for my evening shall commence as such. I'm going to do my planning for the week while I listen to some Athena's Choice. Again, I'm aiming to get to 50% of that. That is the goal. And then I'm going to do my Bible reading. At some point in there, I'm going to call my boyfriend, and then I'll try to read some Voyager, but also in there I'm going to watch some YouTube because, again, I'm very behind on it. I barely watched any this weekend. I've just been so gosh darn busy, and I don't want my Watch Later playlist to feel out of control going into this next week of school, because I don't really want to be that tempted. So that is a lot for 2 hours of time. Let's see what we can do. It's 8:10. That's my planning for the week, bullet journal style, up to 50% of Athena's Choice, and a call. Done. Update about Athena's Choice. I had some trouble paying attention to these last couple percentages, like the last 7% that I listened to. They're just kind of doing police work here and there, but in the future, I guess we'll have to see what happens. It's probably because I was really focused on bullet journaling and drawing straight lines. Believe it or not, that takes like way too much effort on my part, even with a ruler. Especially with a ruler. I'm terrible at using a ruler. Anyway, I'm going to get my Bible reading done now, and then I'm going to watch YouTube. Yes. Okie dokie, it's 9:36. I don't think I'm going to get any more reading done for tonight, really, so I'm going to climb into oh my gosh, I can't even speak. I'm that tired. I'm going to climb into bed and go to sleep. Thanks for watching this weekend reading vlog. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing, joining the fam. I post Wednesdays and Sundays, reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. If you want any information about the books that I mentioned in this weekend reading vlog, I'll have the links down in the description. I always do, so if you have any questions about that, they'll be right there. I also have a link to my Goodreads and my Instagram account, so you can drop a follow there if you would like to see more of what I am up to, especially what I am reading, because I don't vlog every second of my reading, although the Bookopoly-thon starts soon, like in 2 days. So tomorrow I'm going to be starting my weekly reading vlog. #1 for the Bookopolython, so keep a lookout for that. Go ahead and comment down below, how was your reading weekend or week or whatever, however you measure your reading. How's your reading going? Are you reading anything interesting? Have you read any of the books that I mentioned? Are you interested in any of the books I'd mentioned? I'd love to hear. And until next time, bye humans, bye!